people keep saying, the Big 12 sucks. The Big 12's mediocre. And they're wrong. You know what sucks? My Wi-Fi here lately. I have Spectrum. Is that like a whole country thing? Does everybody else have it and have this issue? You know, one thing with the Big 12 that I will give you nationally, if you talk to a TV executive, and I said this last week on a radio show, if you talk to a TV executive and say, hey, what do you think about the new Big 12? They are probably they're laughing. They're going, oh, that sucks, man. Because you're not going to drive up huge ratings. You know, I love 4-3 Kansas State playing Iowa State. 4-2 Kansas State playing 4-3 Iowa State. I love Farmageddon. I'm going to love, I love like a good old-fashioned TCU Kansas. I love a Texas Tech playing Baylor. I love a butt bowl. People don't when there's nobody good in that game. When nobody's nationally recognized, nationally ranked, when there's no kind of national consequence for these games, nobody watches that. People watch Texas OU because it's a top 10, top 15 matchup. We're staring down the barrel. Yet another week where Texas and OU are the only two ranked teams in the Big 12. Everybody else in this conference has 2 or more losses. And I get it. If you're a TV executive, you own Fox, you're going, I don't want any part of that. Nobody wants to watch that. Sure, whatever. But me, I'm a maniac. I'm a sickos committee guy. I like the weird and the wacky. I like the fact that this conference makes zero sense. And I hope at some point you do too. I had a twist. I was sitting I was this Big 12 princess for a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my transparency hero. I was a Big 12 princess for a little bit, considering like I hate that nobody in this league is good. I wish there were 2 teams that were at the top of this, compete with Texas and OU. I was super pissed off just at the league in general that there were no, Kansas State's been disappointing and Texas Tech's been disappointing and was upset that TCU's been disappointing. And then I just looked at myself in the mirror one day and thought, what a sad way to live. Can I not just enjoy the fact that everybody's beating it? Can I not just enjoy the fact that I can turn on a TV any given weekend of the Big 12 and just not know what's going to happen? If I stop worrying about the future of the conference, if I stop worrying about Texas and OU losing, if I stop worrying about things that I can't control and just sit back and watch good old-fashioned pigskin in the Big 12, my life's going to be so much better. So you might say it's mediocre. You might say the Big 12's got a lot of bad teams. The Big 12 can't compete nationally. No, look, the Pac-12, they're doing great with all these ranked teams they have, and Oregon State looks so good, and Washington State tripped up big time, but now Arizona looks scary in the new Big 12, and, you heard a lot of noise out west. But for me, for you, let's all come together. Let's put our heads together and say, you know what? It's not mediocre. It's optimally fun. So the SEC right now has their national championship caliber teams. The Big 12 hasn't had that in 20 years, by the way. You're not missing it. They're like coming to the Big 12 like, oh, well, now they're not competing for national titles. Dude, this conference hasn't competed for national titles in a long time. It's been a little bit since the Big 12 was legitimately in the conversation for a national championship. You can make a case for some of those Oklahoma playoff teams. And TCU obviously went last season. We've been right there on the cusp, but we haven't won one in a very, very long time. So it's like, this is not really the fact that this year there are no carryover Big 12 teams that will be in the Big 12 that are competing for a national championship is nothing new. We've already accepted that. We've pretty much accepted that it's not going to happen unless there's a wild, I have the towel behind me from the TCU Natty that I went to and left early, which is insane. Getting rained on at an indoor stadium. For the Big 12 this year, accept that you're not going to win a national championship with the old teams. That's fine. And then accept that, you know what? We just can create chaos. What if the Big 12's representative in a bowl, in a New Year's Six bowl, is like a 9-3 team, an 8-4 team, right? That'd be awesome. What if down the stretch, all the other Big 12 teams come together and decide, you know what, guys? We all kind of aren't good nationally. All right? Let's just create chaos and havoc. This is a cannibalistic league. Why not just go beat Texas and Oklahoma? Just try. Just throw out your best. At some point, I really do think, and maybe I'm insane for saying this, that Texas and OU will fall victim to this. That Texas and OU will fall victim to the wild, gross, whatever the Big 12 is putting out every Saturday. I mean, look, I read you some of these scores that happened this weekend. Kansas State winning against Texas Tech. Kansas losing to Oklahoma State. Let's just go back to week 5. Week 5, where Baylor beat UCF in a wild comeback, where West Virginia beat TCU, who just beat the brakes off of BYU. Let's go to week 4. Week 4, where Kansas beat BYU by double digits at home, where West Virginia beat Texas Tech, the team that just lost to Houston, where Iowa State beat Oklahoma State in what now is a game that has so much, it means so much at the top of this league. Last week, Oklahoma State beating Kansas State. And then finally everybody being like, all right, give Avery Johnson a shot. Now Ollie Gordon's finally getting the ball, thank you. Last week, when Iowa State beat TCU, the same TCU team that just routed BYU with a freshman quarterback, the same Iowa State team that now is 3-1 and keeps winning games in Big 12 play. Is that not awesome? Go talk to somebody. Go talk to Tom Rinaldi and be like, isn't the Big 12 awesome? He might tell you no. Kirk Herbstreit might tell you no. But I'm here. I'm here to tell you yes. That when you settle, that when you set your expectations just a little bit lower, the Big 12 is really fun. So, friends, I implore you, take those expectations and crush them. Take the Big 12 for what it is, face value, and revel, one of those two, in the fact that this conference, frickin' fun, man. That's 2 frickins today, by the way. 3, I guess, technically. Hey, new guys, good news. I'm Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.